Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Zach Ryan. I'm here with my friend Max Scoville, and this is IGN Access brought to you by T-Mobile. Max, today saw some big old news from the old conference there.
Yep.
Sean Layton came out on stage wearing none other than a Crash Bandicoot t-shirt.
And now there's one thing you might not know about me. I am in fact a licensed Crash Bandicologist. So I got real excited about this news and decided to reflect upon it.
Right, and it not only piqued our interest, but also those of the people on Twitter. Our friend at SonyFanboy87 simply says, "That Crash shirt." What do you think, Max? Is this some kind of symbol from the Sony gods that we're going to see a new Crash Bandicoot or reboot or a resurgence of the character?
So I think we're at an odd point where Sony properties, stuff that was attached to the original PlayStation, has kind of gathered this nostalgia. And there's also that weird kind of post-ironic nostalgia you see on the internet. People are like, oh man, I wish Bubsy would make a comeback. And do they really want that? We're not really sure. I think we saw a very similar thing happen with Battletoads over on the Xbox side of things. There was, I think Phil Spencer came out with a Battletoad shirt. We still haven't seen a new Battletoads. We did see one of those guys show up in Killer Instinct.
Right.
And then of course there was Rare Replay. They understand that there is a desire for familiar characters to come back. Crash Bandicoot, long tied to the Sony platform. Obviously there was those old commercials of the guy with the megaphone going to Nintendo headquarters and talking smack.
Sure.
What's weird though is that Crash, which everyone kind of thinks of him as a Naughty Dog property, he's sort of connected to Activision and other studios and developers and publishers. The last Crash Bandicoot game came out in 2010. I want to say that was cross-platform. It was one of the many kart racing games. But I think that it'd be kind of a cool time for it.
Yeah.
We've seen something interesting with Naughty Dog specifically, where they started with the Crash Bandicoot games. They're fun, cute kid games. Those were mid '90s when video games were for kids. And they as a studio have grown up a lot because they went from Crash Bandicoot to Jak and Daxter, which was a little bit more edgy, and then from there they went to Uncharted, and then they did Last of Us, and then Uncharted 4 is kind of, I'd say, a similar level of kind of realistic to what we saw in Last of Us, and I think it would be kind of interesting. Maybe they're kind of hip to the fact that people who've grown up with their games are having kids now, and they're like, let's go back to Crash.
Yeah.
And I think that Sony would kind of get that in terms of nostalgia. It could also be a totally cheap shot, and that's just a shirt made to mess with our emotions and feelings and get us all real worked up. But
I like the idea that he would wear this shirt to kind of test the waters, to kind of gauge the reaction. Like he comes out on stage with the Crash t-shirt, and then Twitter blows up, and he's like, okay, great. So this is obviously something that people are interested in. Let's move forward with whatever we have planned next. So I think that's kind of a cool litmus test.
I'd like that. It'd be nice. I mean, Crash Bandicoot he's so kind of, by definition, a very 90s critter. He's kind of a cross between like Bart Simpson and the guy from The Offspring. Like he's with some Sonic the Hedgehog in there too.
Yeah,
like
gotta have some tune.
It's very edgy, but I mean, it'd be kind of cool to see him, maybe, tongue-in-cheek kind of retro approach brought back. Like it would sort of suck to see him get Sonic boomed, and they're like, here's the new Crash Bandicoot. I don't really want him covered in bandages.
So there you have it. Maybe Crash is coming back, maybe not. We're gonna find out, I'm sure. If you have questions about Crash Bandicoot or anything PSX, you can get at us at IGN Access using the hashtag PSXAccess. And for more things Crash Bandicoot and all things PSX, keep it right here on IGN.com.
And of course, for more stuff on Crash Bandicoot, you're in the right place.
CrashBandicoot.com.
We don't own that.